Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be back with you this Saturday. I have today a very special guest, as I always do on a Saturday. I always have people who are navigating life in a beautiful way, and they're here to share messages with you. So, before I get into it, let me first introduce our special guest tonight. Garnian Hazel is a young man who is from Success, Hanover. He is a law student starting Norman Manley Law School in September. So coming September, Garnian will be starting law school. His ultimate goal is to use his position as an attorney to assist children in conflict with the law and to use alternative dispute resolution to solve disputes outside of the court system. His biggest achievement was attaining his law degree. So today he's here to tell us some more about his journey to Norman Manley Law School and eventually to become a lawyer. So let us welcome Garnian. Give us a few. Let's welcome Garnian to the. Give me a awesome. Hi, Garnian. I'm so happy that you're here. So happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here, Miss. Good afternoon to you and your viewers.
Wonderful. All right. So let's get started. So I'm giving your introduction, but I just want to know a bit more about you. Are you or have you always been an inspiring person, or is it that you have constantly worked on yourself to become an inspiring person?
It takes a lot of work to be an inspiring person. The work is constant because some days you feel that the work is it's overbearing, other days you feel like it's you can manage. But you have to constantly inspire yourself because not every day you will wake up and want to do the same thing over and over. You have to just keep in the back of your mind, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is the ultimate goal that I have, and this is the outcome that I want from that goal.
Definitely. So I don't like to mention it first, but it is a part of your story, a part of your journey. Can you speak to us a bit more about your visual impairment?
Okay, my visual impairment started from I was a baby. I had to do two surgeries to correct it. I have glaucoma and cataract, but the cataract was removed. The glaucoma is still active as it's permanent. It can be treated, but it can't be cured. It has affected my vision in my right eye, and I have to keep using prescription drops to limit the pressure in the eye so that I do not go completely blind. Because the doctors have said to me that if I don't use the prescription drops, chances are the glaucoma will spread and I'll become completely blind.
Oh, wow. So it is something that has been a part of your journey from childhood.
Yes, yes, Mr. Taz. Born with it.
Wow. All right. So can you speak to me about what inspired you to go into law? What inspired you to take that journey? There are many other paths out there. So what inspired you to go towards law?
What inspired me to go towards law? Seeing persons with disabilities and children not having the adequate representation. There are many lawyers out there, but some do it for the money. There are few that will take a case for a person with a disability or a child and not charge an exorbitant rate. And there are few
Right.
persons with disability in the legal field in Jamaica. So by my advocating, I can use the law to advocate for changes to laws that govern children and persons with disabilities.
Definitely. Definitely. So what impact do you think that you currently have on your community? Speaking about not only visual impairment, but overall the disabled community.
I think I have a lot of influence on the community because being a person with a disability, I I have been seeing persons like, for example, Mr. Robert Blake, who is a part of the Association for the Persons with Disabilities in the West. I have spoken to him on a couple of occasions, and he has encouraged me in going into the legal field, as he said that there are few persons with disabilities, and most persons with disabilities don't know, and especially children don't know how to navigate the legal field. And me being a person with a disability, I will be able to add my voice to any legal issue that comes up for disabled persons.
Yes. So I was about to ask you this question you answered, but if you have anything else to add, please do so. How important is representation in your community? How important is it?
It is very important because, based on what I've seen, the disabled community needs more representatives. Because, for example, the only persons that I've seen prominently, there may be others, but the only prominent person I've seen who will advocate for persons with disabilities uh, in the media landscape and in a prominent way is Senator Dr. Floyd Morris, who is in charge of the disabilities studies up by University of the West Indies, Mona. He uses his position in the Senate to bring across points for any bill that is being debated. He uses his position in the Senate to see to but for the persons who have disability to benefit from the bills that are being tabled and passed in the Senate.
Right. So another question that I have for you, sometimes, especially in our Jamaican society, we discriminate against disabled people, and we think that they're not intellectually capable to complete certain tasks. So my question to you is, when people see Garnian, do they see Garnian the person, the individual pursuing law, or do they see the disabled, the visually impaired Garnian who is pursuing law? Who do they see first, the man
Both,
or disability? They
both,
see both.
because
Yes.
some persons will see the person, will see me as, oh, he's just a normal person who can go around and just doing law. And few persons will see me, oh, he has a disability and he's doing law. And they say, all right, if he has a disability and he's doing law, me without a disability, I can do something else. I can do something else apart from law and and be beneficial to the country and to myself as well. So they see me as both. You have some people that see me, oh, he's just a person who is doing
Right.
the, and you have persons that see me as an inspiration, and I mean even out on the road and persons stop me and say, you're an inspiration to me because you're a past student from Nakalva Technical High School and Success Primary, and you are an inspiration to me because I've seen where seen you doing law as a person with disability, and I can do something else. And I'm doing so and doing other things.
Good. And my other question to you, I know that you are very empowered, but I'm asking you personally, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as Garnian, the empowered young man going for his well, you have your law degree, but going for his
Yes.
is it the bar that you go
Legal
for now?
education.
The legal
Yes.
education, yes? Or do you see yourself as, visual impairment is a part of who I am? I'm visually impaired, I'm Garnian, going for law. How do you see yourself?
I see myself as a person, as a visually impaired person going for law. Because as I've said, a person has to first accept that, okay, I have a disability. I'm going to use this disability as an ability to go to further myself up the ladder and not de- being dependent on, okay, I have a disability. I can I can't do, the government will have to help me. I'll have to find, I can't help myself. No, I'll take any help that I can get, but at the same time, I'll put my best foot forward as a person with a disability, with a goal in mind, and hoping to achieve that and working to achieve that goal.
Definitely, definitely. So, what is your advice to someone who has a disability, or even someone that doesn't have a disability, but they want to go after their goals and they're not so sure, they are not confident in what they have to offer? What is your advice to someone like that?
My first advice to a person like that is to pray about it,
Mhm.
because you have, no matter which religion you're part of, there is always, no matter which God you pray to, there you are worshiping. You have to pray first, and then the Lord will guide you to the right path.
All right, so there seems to be a bit of a technical difficulty. Garnian, we're not hearing you at this time, but while we get that sorted, I just want to welcome those who are currently viewing. Samantha, Michael, Melaine, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for others that are viewing, I'm just taking this time out to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be giving you weekly inspiring people to who will motivate you to be better versions of yourself. Garnian, are we still here? Are you still here? All right. I'm not sure what happened there. Give me a few minutes, guys. All right. So we're giving Garnian some time, add him back to the stream. Seem to have some sort of technical difficulty there. But Garnian and I did have a chat before this interview, and he did share a few things with me. So let me just talk a bit until he gets back here. All right. So a big community in not only in Jamaica but worldwide is the disabled community. And so often they are in the background. We don't really see them because we are not a part of that community. We do not see those people who are very much a part of our country, our world. And I remember that Michael, when I first came in contact with a few of these individuals, and I realized that they are just as intelligent, they're just as brilliant as we are. They have a lot to offer to our society. Garnian and I spoke about some things as it pertains to the provisions that are available for these people, this group of people, this very inspiring group of people who decide to go after their goals despite the odds against them. And if you notice, when you go to schools and certain public or commercial areas, there are no ramps provided for this group of people, no ramps for wheelchairs, no other provisions in place for them so that we expect them to function in a society that was not made for them. And so if you are at an institution where these people are not provided for, lobby for them. Be a helping hand. Another thing Garnian and I spoke about is how do you properly assist disabled people? What are the rules of engagement? So when you come into contact with disabled people, it is advised by Garnian for you to ask first if they need assistance. So just as how you don't like people invading your personal space, they do not like people invading their personal space either. So it's good to ask, do you need some help? And if they respond yes, you approach them then. Don't impose yourself upon them to say, oh, I'm helping, so it doesn't matter how I go about it. Right? We have spoken about several different things as it pertains to the disabled community and several challenges that Garnian has experienced over the years as it pertains to his studies, leaving school late at night, getting home, and all of that. So we have spoken about many things. And I'm just going to ask you to bear with us while I try to get Garnian back on. So give us a few minutes and we will be back shortly. Thank you so much for being so patient We really do appreciate that. So I'm trying to see if Garnian is back. Give me a minute. All right, Garnian, you're back. I don't know what happened a while ago, but
Sorry about
I held down the fort for you. So you're back.
connect, yes, connectivity issues. As I was saying
Okay, that's all.
before, a person has to pray, find a mentor, and they have to be
Right.
careful the type of mentors they find because some persons just want to use them for their own means and ends. You have to find a mentor that is dedicated to helping you to gain success as a person with a disability. You can't just
Definitely.
find any and anyone because a person will just use you for his or her own means and ends. You have to find someone who really cares about advancing you as a person with a disability in any career field that you have, that you are pursuing.
Yes. So thank you for sharing and speak to us about your journey to law. Has it been a very easy journey for you? Were all the provisions provided for you by I think you did your degree with UE, your law degree.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
did 1 year at Western Campus and
yeah.
2 years at and 3 years at Mona.
So did you
It
find
wasn't
necessary
easy,
resources?
easy. It wasn't easy, especially the year at Western Campus. Being
Right.
disconnected from Mona, it made material harder to come by. And being a person with a disability, being the only person at Western Campus with a disability, you have to be at that time, you have to be advocating and using the student rep as an advocate on your behalf. Because
Right.
being a lone person with a disability, you may end up getting lost in the system if you
Mm-hmm.
don't advocate for yourself. But going to Mona, transition to Mona was made easier with the lecturers and the admin staff and at the UA Mona Law Campus, law faculty, and the Office of Special Student Services that provided merit material, that is the Faculty of Law, that is in large print, and the Office of Special Student Services ensuring that I was provided with extra time to do exams, persons to I can dictate to and the right. So each department of the university played its part in assisting me as a visually impaired student to complete my law degree.
Wonderful. I really commend them for that. When you were just disconnected a while ago, I was speaking about the provisions that are put in place for disabled people. And we spoke about how you wanted to be change as it pertains to providing those resources. You made mention to a person that has access to a wheelchair. They're only able to conduct business on the first floor if they're able to enter the building. So talk to me about how impactful is your degree in law going to be as it pertains to your impact on your community? What do you plan to change? What do you plan to implement?
Okay. Being in law, I plan to review various legislations that pertain to persons with disability and making sure that these legislations are beneficial to persons with disability and ensuring that organizations and companies understand that, okay, there are a group of persons who are not like you, who need to access your goods and services just like anyone else. And being a person with a disability, doing law, I can ensure that the Disabilities Act is now in the House of Representatives, yet to be passed. Doing that, I can ensure that the businesses and organizations conform to the Disabilities Act in terms of employment and any other things contained in the act that pertains to persons with disability. because having the act is key to ensuring that persons with disability have a voice and that they are recognized in Jamaica as persons who are not just having a disability, but persons who want to enjoy everyday activities just like me and you.
Right. Wonderful. So, my next question to you is, usually we have a particular teacher or an adult, someone that has inspired us. Who inspires you or who has inspired you? Who continues to inspire you?
Ah, there are a lot of persons. If I start calling them, I put myself into trouble.
Name a few
My
of those
past
people.
principals, and teachers. I'm going to call it into my past principals, Mrs. Wright, Miss Roper, Dr. Harris, Dr. Nelson.
Okay. I don't want to in trouble with your parents, so you can always say parents as well. Oh boy, I'm not sure what's happening again. Are you hearing me? Oh no. Garnian, please don't tell me that you're connected again. All right, guys, we have been having technical difficulties, but we're moving forward just the same. Just give Garnian some time to sort out his awesome.
Yes.
Oh, you're back.
Before
I'm happy
doing
that
law,
you're back.
sorry, before, yes, miss. Before doing law, I was a student enrolled at the Montego Bay Community College where I did an associate degree in business studies.
Mm. Yes. Okay. All right. So are you
Yes,
hearing
miss.
me?
I'm hearing you.
Wonderful. My next question
Are
to
you
you.
hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly. Can others do what you
Yes.
have done? That's my question to you. Can others do what you have done? Is it possible?
Yes, miss. Yes, it is very possible. Once you have a strong support system,
Mm-hmm.
you can do it. Both able-bodied, disabled, and children. Once you have a strong support system, you can make it.
All right. So what are your top tips for people who are aspiring to live out their purpose? What are your top tips?
Okay. My top tips. Pray. Prayer is everything. You have without God, you cannot make it. That's plain and simple. That's you have to pray. Find persons in the field that you're interested in
Mm-hmm.
that can guide you and tell you how the field is. Work hard. You have to be decide that okay, this is the goal that I'm going after. This is this is the work I have to put in to reach that goal. You can't just decide, oh, this is the goal that I'm going after. And when you when you when you start, you see that you have to read a lot of material, and you say, I can't be bothered with this because there's a lot of material. You have to prepare to read the material if you want to make to get to your goal. You have to you have to be able to you have to want the goal. You have to be hungry for it. You can't just say, okay, I want to be a doctor. But you can't go to med school for the 7 years or the 5 years. You have
Ah,
to be hungry for the goal. You have to be prepared to make sacrifices. You have to know that okay, I can't go and hang out with my friends anymore because I have classes, I have work, I have stuff to do. I can't be up to 2, 3 a.m. in the morning watching movies. I have to be studying. Sacrifices have to be made for the greater good because this okay for me to do this. These are the sacrifices I have to make to benefit me as a person and benefit others because the sacrifices a person makes not only benefits them because when they reach the goal, they will remember those sacrifices and help others. They're helping others would have made their sacrifice well worth it because a doctor going to med school and for 5 to 7 years. His sacrifices are not for himself alone, but for his patients because him making a sacrifice for himself by studying hard, doing the work, enables him to make money by seeing patients, and his sacrifice makes the patient's life better. Because if he hadn't sacrificed, he wouldn't have made it through med school, and the patients wouldn't have a doctor to look after them. So sacrifices have to be made for the greater good of not just yourself but the persons around you.
Definitely. It's so important. I've interviewed quite a few inspiring people, and that is a theme that I've heard over and over: sacrifice. And so many times we're into the instant culture thing now. So we need instant gratification. We do something, we want to be feel good about it right away. And we're moving away from putting in the work, even when we don't see the success, put in the work, and then we reap the rewards down the line. So it's so important that you have said sacrifice, a very, very important thing, very necessary part of success. My next question to you is, what is your why? Why do you want to do law? Why? What is your why?
That is my why. My why is to see a better country, a better Jamaica that provides benefits for persons with disabilities and children. Too many children are being lost because adults are leading them astray and are causing them harm that will impact them for the rest of their lives. Too many persons with disabilities are being left behind because the agencies of the government, the agencies of this business, the business agencies, the government agencies, don't think it's important to put in facilities for persons with disabilities. Even though they make up a small percentage of the population, they are persons who have to do business with you as an entity and not putting in facilities for persons with disabilities will not help that can be used to uplift your business. And persons with disabilities not being able to access your facility, it's counterproductive to both you and the person with disability. So that is my why for doing law.
That is your why. All right. As it pertains to Vision 2030, Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. How far are we away from accomplishing that Vision 2030? And if we're not very close, what can we do to align ourselves to Vision 2030?
We are not very close to Vision 2030 at all. We are nine
Wow.
years away, and some of the same ills still plague us.
Right.
We spoke about instant gratification, and that is what is creeping in, has crept into the system now. Person just want to get something quick. They don't want to make sacrifices. And if sacrifices aren't made, we cannot, we will not be able to see Vision 2030. Sacrifices have to be made. We need to cut out the thing of being, oh, I have an obligation, I am owed an obligation by somebody. No, there's no volunteerism. There are few persons that are volunteering now. But you
Right.
ask a person to do something for you, chances are you'll have to pay them before they even start or even after they finish. There's no more voluntary work, doing it for, as we say, doing it for the love and not for the likes. There's no
Wow.
more volunteerism. There's few places that you can find where persons will willingly do something for you and not expect a reward after. We have to go back, get back to that. We have to teach the youth, each youth, in terms of Jamaica 2030, the youth are the main focus because the youth now have to be trained, skilled, and work found for these youth because we can't be training persons. Oh, yes, we are training mechanics, we are training carpenters, we are training truck drivers. and you don't have the jobs to give to these persons. That waste of time training persons and you don't have the jobs to put these persons in. We have to get to a
Definitely.
state where we train a person to it and he knows that okay, I am certain that I'll get a work tomorrow. You can't be training persons and you say, okay, I'm being trained as a mechanic, but where am I going to get the work? We have to address these things. When we address these things, the social ills such as crime, poverty, and all the other social ills will decline.
Definitely. Definitely. So I love that you focused not only on the government and country, but you focused on individuals. So you're saying that in order for the country to achieve Vision 2030 or for the country to be successful, we too have to be successful. And you also said, what I heard
Yes,
you say is that yes, we are training people. We're training them for careers that there are no jobs available. There are no jobs available for those careers, and we are not. I am thinking now that we even entrepreneurship, there's not enough resources for them to get into it. So even if, yes, you're trained a mechanic, how equipped is that mechanic to go and open his own shop? With cryptiz. So that there are some questions that we need to answer as millennials, especially. What can I do? You're making your contribution and you're going eventually you're going into law and you will be making an impact on your country. And I'm sure where you are now you are making an impact. So that is so important, especially for Jamaicans listening, wherever you are in the world it is important that you are a part of Vision 2030. You have to align yourself with the vision. You have to buy into the vision because the country will not move forward with all the politicians and the government. We have to play a part. So I'm so happy that you shared that point. I have a question here for you, and we're coming down nicely, guys. So if you have any questions for Garnian, now is the time for you to ask. I have one question so far, and it is from Michael Johnson. What
yes, ma'am.
gave you strength to overcome all the difficulties and obstacles you went through? What gave you the strength, despite all the setbacks? What gave you strength to push
What gave
forward?
me the strength? Okay. What gave me the strength? It's simply support structure. I have a lot of persons who support me and will check in from time to time how I am doing. I have family, I have three sisters, my mom and my dad, who support me and will check in on me, and other teachers and other friends send me will check in on me from time to time and encourage me. You have to have a strong support base that will, no matter what happens around you, once you have a strong support base, you will be fine.
Definitely.
Just have persons that will support you and cheer you on as you go ahead.
All right. 5 years from now, if I'm speaking to you 5 years from now, I am scrap that. So I'm not speaking to you. We're at an event and doing your introduction. What will I be saying about you in 5 years' time?
Mhm. In 5 years' time, you'll be saying that I've completed my degree and I am on my way to being a successful attorney at law. I advocating for persons with disabilities and children in any way, shape or form that I can. And
Right.
I'd be a all around person. Yes.
Definitely. So, Garnian, we have spoken about so much. And I just before you go, because as I said, and as you know, the disabled community and people may wonder why do we keep saying disabled? Because it's a community that has been totally forgotten. A very valuable part of our society that has been forgotten. So
Yes.
for people who are wondering, how can I help? How can I help my coworker's child who is disabled? How do people help?
We help by help assisting persons whenever we can. We help by talking about it, continually talking about it with per action because one person's voice is not enough. When persons come together as a coalition and say this is what we have persons with disabilities in our community, they don't have this. The person is in a wheelchair, they don't have ramps, they don't have basic amenities. The person has a cane, they can use it. Both are disabled persons and able-bodied persons for the community. Advocacy
Oh,
with a
sorry,
lot
Gar,
of
you're
voices
breaking up there a
will
bit. Can
bring
you
change.
go? Okay, so you're saying a lot of people, more people talking about it will definitely bring change. It will not just be one person that brings the change.
Advocacy.
All right, so Garnian, we have lost you again.
Say,
Um,
yes,
oh, I'm hearing you now. Guys,
yes.
just bear with us tonight.
As
It's
I
been
was,
a roller coaster, but we are getting very valuable information out there for you. Yes, Garnian, can you continue, please?
as I was saying, advocacy is key.
Right.
Persons from both disabled and able-bodied community can advocate for persons with disabilities and say, this is, they are in our community, they have this disability, this is what we want for you to do to assist them in their daily life. So they moving around, they can feel like, okay, we don't have to be assisted in every way because we the sidewalks are smooth enough for persons with a cane or wheelchair going around that they don't have to run into any obstacles in the road. The roads are paid, the signs are there for persons with disability so they can know that okay, this is where I park, this is where, where I go to do business in the building. This is how I conduct, how I can be assist, how I am helped as a disabled person in the country on a whole. This is my benefit as a person with a disability and not being feel as if they are being a burden on the government and
Right.
on the people around them.
Yeah, because you're just asking for what everyone else is getting. It's not that you're asking for anything extra. It's just having fairness, being able to access these
No.
different facilities that are provided for
Yes.
everyone else,
Yes.
right? If you could send a message to the government of Jamaica, what would your message be to them? What is your message to the government? Doesn't matter if it's JLP or PNP. What is your message?
Hearing me, miss?
Yeah, okay, I'm hearing you now. Yes.
Okay. My message to the government: help the persons that need the help. Help the persons that are needy, not just helping somebody just because they are helping. Help the persons that are needy. Help the person who has a disability. Help the child who needs care and protection. And help it just help for persons with disability and children. These are vulnerable people of society, and without them, we would not have a society because children go into adults, and adults run a society. Persons with disabilities may have a disability, but they can still work. Provide feasible employment for persons with disability. Persons with disability are the most underemployed persons in Jamaica.
Really?
Mandate your government agencies that this is the government, the ministry, this is a specific ministry. You must have at least two or three persons inside it with the requisite qualifications that have disabilities. So when persons with disability go to your organization, they don't feel as if they are strangers in your organization. they see persons with disability in the organization and say, okay, this person works here. I can relate to this person. I can tell them what the issue is, and they will assist. Use your government agencies to employ persons with disabilities so that persons who have disabilities going into these organizations can say, okay, I see my community being represented.
Wonderful. So, people, you have heard it from Garnian. He is not the visually impaired law student or prospective lawyer. He's Garnian who has a visual impairment, who's pursuing law.
Well,
He's a millennial, a young man who is poised for success, poised for greatness. He is going to be a change maker in his society. But we too can contribute to the society, the Jamaica that we want to see. We too can contribute to Vision 2030. It pertains to a group of people that we so often walk past them, because we are not disabled, we don't think that it
yes.
is important for us to contribute to that community. Sometimes we are just a accident away from being a part of that community. Sometimes in the future you may have family members or children who have a disability, and of course you would want a fair and progressive society for those children or family members to be a part of. We can be a part of the solution. It is not as difficult as you think. Many of us are in positions where we have impact. So why not use your impact to help other people? Not just people that look like you, that walk like you, that talk like you, but people who really need help. The ball is in your court. We have given you the information, and we want you to join us on this journey to lobby for those that are needy, as Garnian said, and not those that want something or those that need a little help here and there, but people who are just asking for the basic human rights, the basic rights to access facilities that will help them to have a better life. So, thank you for joining us. And I'm just encouraging you, if this is something that resonates with you, if you wish to be tuned into inspiring stories on a Saturday, this is a place for you to be. Please go ahead and subscribe. Garnian, can you tell us if someone needs to be mentored by you, where can they find you?
If someone needs to be mentored by me, I'm on the various social media platforms: Twitter,
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook Messenger. The basic I'm on the social media platforms. So
Okay.
once I type my
Someone wants
name
to
in,
contact you as it
they
pertains
will
to help
find me.
to push forward the initiative. If someone is in a capacity that can help to do so, so they can contact you on Instagram, Facebook. What is the other one?
Um, Twitter as well.
Twitter. And is it your full name, Garnian?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Garnian Hazel, yes.
Wonderful. And I have, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, very little. Good evening, everyone. I am always proud of you, Garnian. Stay blessed. You are a champion and an inspiration.
Yes, he's a member of the SDA church that I go to, the Success SDA
Oh,
church.
okay, okay. All right. So, Garnet, thank you so much for joining us and giving us all those important information as it pertains to not only your community, but how we truly get Jamaica to Vision 2030, how we truly impact our country, how we truly make change. We are so inspired by your story, and we are here cheering you along as you get to becoming Garnian Hazel, becoming the lawyer, the most influential lawyer, not only in Jamaica but internationally. I am looking forward to the rest of your journey, and thank you so much for joining us.
You are most welcome, miss. Thank you for having me.
And keep in touch.
Yes, miss.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
guys.
Thank you and the viewers. Take care, miss.
Take care. And for all our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you next week, Saturday. Bye.